Happy New Year's, guys. It is finally 2024, and this year is going to be the one that we are going to crush our financial goals. Today's video, we're going to be looking at my 5 financial resolutions that I'm going to be focusing on in 2024. Now, I really want you to sit down, write them down on a piece of paper, put them in a place that you're going to see them on a regular basis so you know exactly what your goals are. And then we can go through and kind of on a monthly basis, track your goals and see exactly where you are, which number one, guys, making a budget and sticking to it. Looking back to when we started this channel, making a budget is huge, guys. Now, again, a lot of people might call it a life plan or a spending plan or a budget. Whatever you use, guys, you have to track where your money is. The money that is coming in to the money that is going out to really know where your money is going, but also to know what you have at the end of the month. Because if you look at that, that is going to be the investment. That is going to be the debt repayment. That is going to be building the emergency fund. It is really important, again, to know exactly where your money is going, because with that, and with the budget itself, that is going to give you the opportunity to cut out some unnecessary expenses or even take some of the needs that you have within your life and get them at a much lower rate. That might mean refinancing an auto loan, consolidating some credit card, even possibly doing some balance transfers. There's a lot of ways to essentially get the same things that you have for your needs and your wants category, just at a much lower price tag. So definitely making a budget. And this also means sticking to it, guys. When it comes to resolutions, when it comes to really goal planning in 2024, most people last about 7 days, which means after a week, it is already completely kiboshed. After a month, you never even see it nor remember it until you usually get to about November, December, and then it does come back up. But regular tracking your expenses, like I said, that is going to be a part where you can embrace technology. There are a lot of different applications that can track everything in there. They can even import your banking financial data, put it into spreadsheets, put it in an really easy ways that you can see it versus writing it all down. And I know with this age of technology, the time, the effort, all of that, as much as I do like writing it down, budgeting apps do work incredibly well. Second one, cutting the expenses. Now for this, guys, we are looking for a 10 to 20% trimming excessive or exceptional expenses. You want to make sure you do this because what is going to happen is you're going to take the same amount of money home. You have to cut out some of the expenses. This is lowering them again, 10 to 20%. That is really going to help your financial health. And again, if you cut 10% on the expenses side, that is going to give you that extra 10% when it comes to debt repayment, when it comes to savings, when it comes to investing. That is a game changer, guys. When you look at Social Security, I believe it was announced 5.4% increase in Social Security going into 2024. So there is going to be a pay raise for a majority of companies within the United States. Pay raises usually come in January, sometimes a little bit different, guys. But if you're getting a pay raise, that doesn't mean spending more stuff or buying more stuff, spending more on what you have. If you get a promotion, if you get an advancement, if you get a higher paying job, this is the time to buckle down. So really the trick, and for me, it was really an eye-opening experience, is when I actually got set in my career, is going from a job, making $30,000 to $50,000 a year with keeping the same expenses. Then getting, another promotion, possibly a raise. I'm going to 60, going to 70,000, keeping the same expenses. That is why if you followed any of my financial videos where we do the investing, $1,000 a week, it has been a game changer because I've kept the same expenses through a multitude of raises, through a multitude of promotions, still continuing and keeping those same expenses. And of course, making sure that I have my emergency fund fully funded that is sitting in the bank. But cutting those expenses, guys, is going to be imperative. And with that, this is the year that we get it under control. Debt repayment. Anything that you can put into debt repayment, guys, is going to be huge. Right now, the average credit card balance is just north of $6,000. That is crazy that it is $6,000. So any dollar that you're putting towards that credit card debt is going to alleviate not only lowering the balance that you have on the card, but lowering the interest that you're going to pay. That is the biggest thing, guys. You have to know what interest you're paying. And honestly, for me, again, this was kind of a very eye-opening experience. This is actually something that we did during my master's program with a budgeting class or with a finance class. We sat down, we broke down our income, we broke down our expenses. We literally went through and figured out places that we could cut the expenses and how much we were paying. So we actually had a tracker that was showing us how much we were paying in interest. For a majority of people, if you had a mortgage, it was $400, $600, $800 a month. that was going to interest, guys. So thinking about your paycheck, thinking about how long it is going to make you, or it is going to take you to make that money just to pay the interest, guys. Literally, you are spending your life, you are spending your days, you are spending your hours just paying interest on debt that you've accumulated. And it's things for most of us that you don't even have. Credit cards might have been from grocery bills, might have been from the holiday, might have been from a bunch of different things on credit cards. Now you're paying 20, 22, 25% on those credit cards, and you're paying interest. You're working hours of your life, hours of your day, just to pay the interest to these cards for previous items that you bought. Not even anything new, not even anything cool. It is just literally paying for things that you've had in the past. And of course, in there, guys, the emergency fund. We are doing $1,000. If you have seen Dave Ramsey's baby steps, it is really a big belief, guys. Now, personally, I have seen this work incredibly well, and I have seen this actually change lives of people that I work with in financial counseling. Setting aside $1,000 in emergency fund. Now we know that is not a true, tried and true, 3 to 6 months of an emergency. This is the starting point, guys. This is literally Dave Ramsey baby step one. Saving $1,000 will cover a majority of smaller expenses. If a car breaks down, if it's a minor repair, if your tire goes out, if you need pretty much maintenance on a lot of different things, $1,000 is going to cover it. Or even there, $1,000 is going to cover some of the cost, if not almost all of the cost, but it also psychologically gives you the ability to know that you can save money. That is the big thing, guys, automating that emergency fund. Even if you're putting $50 a paycheck away, $100 a month, in 10 months, you know what? That emergency fund, the basic emergency fund is going to be fully funded. You're going to have access to that money. That is going to try to slowly kind of cut the reliance on credit cards on a regular basis, which a majority of us really do rely on credit cards. Next one, guys, tracking your credit report. This is huge, guys. Making sure that you're regularly tracking and visiting your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com is the government site. You can access your score for, or you can access your credit report for free. For the score, you actually have to pay for it. But a majority of financial institutions now track your credit report. When you bank with them, most of them have credit score trackers. Even any credit cards that you have, even if you don't have a balance, nothing like that, most of them do have the ability to track your score, and they do it incredibly well, guys. This really covers two things. Number one, you know exactly where your score is. If by chance, whatever reason, you have to borrow money, if you're looking to get a mortgage, if you're looking to borrow anything at all, you know exactly where your score is. And if there is any change in your score. So if you have a 700 score, all of a sudden you hop in, it's at a 640. You need to know why. You need to know exactly why your credit score dropped dramatically. What happened? Were there inquiries? Were there loans? Are there delinquent payments? That is really up to you to track and you alone. And the final one, guys, is boosting your retirement. So again, as you see promotions, as you see increases in salary, as you get a raise, this is the time to boost up your retirement savings. 1% every single year, guys, until you hit the 15%. That is the number that we're sticking with. And that is really the compounding growth over a multitude of years at a 15% contribution rate will be a game changer, literally for you and for your kids for pretty much the rest of your life, guys. If you're putting in 15% like I am, and then your company match, let's say, is 4%, that is putting in 19% of your income every single paycheck, which is going to be very, very consistent. Now, this goes back to the theory of the dollar cost averaging, which I absolutely love, is when you're putting money into the market on a regular basis, it is going to be a game changer, guys, because as you go in there, you're buying it when it's up, you're buying it when it's down, and then you're also letting the compounding effect really take the biggest impact and the biggest effect of long-term wealth and really growth within the market is going to be the time that you do have it invested. All right, guys, so that is going to be my 5 New Year's resolutions that I'm looking for. Definitely following these and tracking these can make a game changer for the rest of your life. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.